Welcome back to another podcast, okay? I'm going to just cut straight to the jump. We are here with Cliff Bagels, John and Haley, Haley and John, however you want to say it, however you want to say it.
Yeah. John.
So how do I say it then?
John works.
Oh, you want John first?
Yeah.
Why though?
No, but that's not my full name. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're back with Cliff Bagels, and if you're familiar with us or anything that we've done, even like recently, the past few months, or even like a couple years, you know that Cliff Bagels and La Familia, John and Tony and John, Tony and Haley, we have a pretty good, decent history. We've known each other for a while. We're good friends, and we're actually here to highlight a super, super dope thing that y'all have been doing and y'all have been in the works with.
Yeah.
For how long? Like 2 years, right? Oh,
yeah.
About a couple years?
Business for almost 2 years, yeah.
All right. Take it away. Business for 2 years? What is it? Yeah, there's your camera.
We have a bagel business.
And then?
Yeah. And we got a shop.
We got a shop.
Let's go.
We got a shop.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Cliff Bagels, you heard it here first. They have a shop. But before we get into that,
Where did it start?
where did it start? How did it start? What happened? Like, for those who really know,
Yeah.
and we'll get into it in a minute, they know that we actually did our first pop-up together. Or you did your first pop-up with us.
Was with you, yeah.
Okay? But I'm talking about even before that. Where did Cliff Bagels come from? How did it get birthed? Was it always Cliff Bagels? Like, was that always a name? Like, just give me, just take it from the top. Where it all started?
Man, yeah. I think it started when, during the pandemic, I got a job at a bakery in Arlington. And that's where it started for me. That's where I met Haley. And that's where we were frenemies to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just didn't like each other for reasons that were really out of our control. It was just like,
We're not going to get into
this
it.
just was the social.
We don't need to get into
the
it.
social politicalness. No, but I was a baker there, and I met her through a mutual friend, and I got her a job there where I worked, and she was a barista, and
Nice.
I would always hear her say, what would you always say? You're like, oh yeah, I really want to.
One day I'm going to open a bagel shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the very beginning, that's what I always told people.
And how did that come about for you?
So basically, long story short, I was the manager of this mom and pop coffee shop, and during COVID, they shut down, but it was one of those things where like they let me run it like to the fullest, so it really felt like my own coffee shop.
Yeah.
So when they ended up selling the business, it kind of felt like, dang, I just lost my business in a way. So end goal for me was always like, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna start my own coffee shop. Like that's the end goal from what I learned from that. But during the midst of working there, I spent some time in New York, and my time there, I was like, dang, we don't have bagels here like in Dallas like they do there.
2018, right?
Yeah, this was 2018. So I came back and I was like, yeah, there's no bagels in Dallas. So me wanting to open a coffee shop turned into I'm gonna open a bagel shop.
Yeah.
Because I really like bagel culture. So yeah, I want to bring it here.
Your dream was bagel shop, but it was even before 2 years ago.
Yeah. It went that far back, and the thing too is like, coffee. Sometimes it can be a little oversaturated. I think it's fair to say. You have a lot of people, and this is no diss to anybody who's done this, but you have a lot of people who just want to open a coffee shop because they see it as a good business opportunity. But like, this girl's like a trained barista. Mm-hmm. Got trained up by someone who was like really good with coffee. What's his name? You want to plug him?
I don't know his name actually.
Sad.
Yeah,
shout out to him though.
Yeah, shout out to him. And so she got trained, and so it's a passion, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a hobby. She's a connoisseur. But I think that like so many people treat it as this like business opportunity that the market tends to kind of just be slightly over. There's too many coffee shops. Mm-hmm. But there's enough for everyone to eat. But I think you also have to kind of figure out a way to like make yourself stand out.
Yeah.
And even the best bagel shops, they really just have like drip and like iced coffee, which is fine. Like they're specializing in bagels. But I think with like me having the background of baking and bread, her having the background of barista and like bar, I think it just kind of like perfectly came together where I always told her too, like, or actually how it came about was one day they put her in the back with me, and we finished
when
our
y'all were
work.
working together.
Yeah, when we were working together, because she was a barista. They put her in the bakery, and she was just like, "Can we make bagels today?" And I was like, "All right, if we finish up early, like we can make bagels." And then so we made bagels, and then she's like, "Wait, let me make a cream cheese." And I was like, okay, like maybe like we got cream cheese.
Yeah.
But then she like put like, from my perspective, she put too much into the cream cheese. But then I tried it and I was just like, oh snap. Like I literally went from like being a little annoyed to just being like, oh snap, like this is good. And it was like, what was it, the cream cheese?
It was a blackberry matcha cream cheese.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was just hating. I'm D1 hater.
Yeah, you are.
D1 aspirations to be the GOAT of hating. But I just was like, dang, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, that does not sound good. And then I tried it and I was like, oh snap, wait, this is really good. And so I remember that day on, the kind of chemistry between us was a little bit better. And I would just tell her like, hey, whenever you open your bagel shop, let me know. I'll help you put together a recipe. I'll do the bread side of it. And that wasn't like an offer, like for real, but it was more of just like, yo, when you put the bagel shop together, let me know. And we were still kind of frenemies even then.
Because I had no like relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
outside
other
of
than just working with each other.
Yeah, outside of coworker.
It was more like hey, you know, I support you. Whenever you open it, I'm gonna come through. Basically, like,
yeah. She could have been like, I'm gonna open a smoke shop or something. I'd be like,
let me know. For sure. So then, how do you go from that to making it, you know, turning it closer into a reality and kind of pursuing that?
We were in a pretty big friend group. I think it was like, how many of us was it?
It was like 12 of us deep.
Yeah, 12 deep. We'd pull up everywhere, and little by little, it just started dwindling. And then there was just 3 of us, and after like 9 months of just seeing each other hanging out every day because we lived close. And then also like I was finding out she was kind of going out of her way to hang out with me, and like it was things like that where I wasn't picking up on it. I was really naive to it.
Yeah.
Like she would come over and I'd be like, "Yo, is this girl pretty?" Like I'll try to talk to her. I did not know. So I feel bad. I'm sorry. But
so how do you get to?
Hold on, wait.
So, what does that have to do with the bagel shop?
No. This has to do with the bagel shop. So then we started dating. And then shortly after dating, that was just like, okay, we have a strong friendship. We know each other really well. And because I never really like saw her that way, for me, my guard was all the way down, and we were able to form like a real relationship based on like who we really were. Like there was no mask to put up. And I'm saying this because it's really important for like if you're gonna run a business with your significant other. Like I think a lot of people still do this with their significant other, where they're like trying to say all the right things and do all the right things. But when we were friends, like best friends, I literally was just like, no, I'm gonna say how I feel. I'm gonna mean what I say.
Yeah.
And she stuck around through that, and so that kind of created a really strong bond. And then I felt ready, where I was just like, okay, you still want to do the bagels? And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we did it. And
right around that, what was that time frame?
That was
2020?
December of 2022. And then January, we started putting together recipes.
No, it couldn't have been December. Not because I know more than you, but because our La Familia event was in November.
No, it wasn't.
It was in January.
January.
Never mind. Then. The first one was in November. The first one was in
November.
First one was okay, but the first one was in November.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was late January, and I was telling you about the bagels, and you were like, yeah, pull up, bring some bagels.
Yeah.
And it took us like 4 hours to make 60 bagels. Or that.
I think you made either 20 or 40, and it was because you were gonna split them in half.
We were cutting them in half.
So I think you made 20, and you're like, if I cut them in half and just hand out the halves, we'll have 40.
Yeah, you put the picture in, insert the picture,
something like that. Yeah, we got a picture. We got a video and a picture. We'll put it.
And that was really hard, right? Like, I think it was just like, it's such a thing where, like, culturally we have no ties to bagels.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I'm talking about, like, some arroz or some fajitas, like, I kind of know what I'm doing in that realm. But with bagels, like, I really don't know what I'm doing. And so we watched a lot of, like, low-key documentaries about these, like, bagel makers in New York. And this one guy's been making bagels for 10, 15 years at this spot that's considered the best in New York. And he's like a Mexican dude named Luis.
Yeah.
Who wakes up at 2 a.m. every day and makes bagels. So I was just like, I can do that.
Yeah. Did y'all get any like reps in? Or were y'all getting any reps in before the pop up with us?
Yeah. I
Like on y'all's own?
how often were we making bagels?
Before his pop up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's like twice a week.
I remember.
But y'all were consistently going at it, like trying,
like
practicing,
making our
Yeah,
recipe.
yeah, making bagels,
Yeah, we were making bagels like every day for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah. Just testing them.
just testing.
Bagels. That's all I knew for that time period. Like, it just all it was. And I'm allergic to gluten. So.
I still haven't lost the weight.
I think what was really dope about that time was when you had brought it up, like, yeah, we're gonna try to do this bagel thing, and we're thinking about it. And y'all, it felt like y'all weren't really, or at least John, because I didn't really know Haley that much. I mean, I did, but like we weren't talking the way we were talking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it almost felt like you were still unsure.
Yeah.
About it, like about the business as a whole.
Not at all, bro. I knew 100%.
Like it almost felt like I was talking to Jesse. I'm like, yo, like John, I don't know if he talked to you about the bagel stuff, but you know what? I'm like, I'm gonna tell him to come through the La Familia event. Just start the bagels.
Yeah.
And I think when you did that, you were like, maybe like it turned a little bit more into like a reality. Like, okay, like, well, I guess like we'll just see.
We'll just see. Yeah.
You have like you tend to kind of take that approach. Like, all right, like we'll see. Like let's just see.
And I'm like a serial like.
You know
like,
what? Hold on. I want to shout out John, okay? Because, but for that event,
Yeah.
okay. I told you about pre-making espresso, and I had just learned about it, and I was like, "Yo, what do you think if I pre-make the espresso for the event?" Because I didn't want to have like trash coffee, you know. And he was like, "I got a homie that works at a coffee shop, that he runs it. He's like the manager there. He'll give you like some espresso. You just tell him." So I was like, "Bet, like, is that gonna be weird?" You're like, "Nah, I'll tell him."
Yeah.
So then hooks me up with this boy, and I show up, and I don't really know how much espresso I'm getting, but he gives me 2 like cup holders full of like 16-ounce espresso.
Snap. It was that much.
It was like, and he gives it to me, and he was like, "Hey, John said you needed some coffee or something." I'm like, "Yeah."
I said 30 ounces, but
it was
you
like
probably got more than that.
Yeah. No, it was way more. It was like literally 2 cup. It was a lot. So shout out John for that. And
and you know what's crazy? On top of that too, we go to coffee shops and we'll go like 2 weeks without paying for coffee.
Yeah.
Because just being plugged in with like service industry workers, you go to a bar, like you show some love, and they're like giving you free drinks and free.
And I say that to say like, we've always been collaborative.
Yeah.
We've always been trying to like look out for each other. So when I was like, "Yo, come through, do the pop up," I don't know how many people will be there, but just pull up. And y'all came with like 17 spreads, like 4 different bagels. Yeah, y'all had that mango one that y'all really don't even make anymore.
No, we don't.
But it was good. That was fire.
Mango jelly, yeah.
And so that was our first one, and the feedback that y'all got was super great. It was super great. That was back when y'all were making like healthy sized bagels, big old fat bagels, and then you started scamming us and making all these little ones now. But it's all good.
They're bigger again.
They're like in between.
No, they're big now.
Oh, they're not as big as the first. They're not as big as the first one.
You haven't had them as big.
When's the last time you came to a pop-up?
The pop-up we did together.
Oh yeah. They got big.
They were big though. They were big there. I ain't even gonna pause.
Okay. They got big. Well, how did that make you feel, like serving them? Because we gave them out for free.
Yeah.
We gave them out for free. How did that make you feel? Like all the compliments. We're getting a lot of compliments about the bagels.
People were coming for like 2 and 3 bagels. Like they kept coming back for the bagels.
Well, they were free, but I don't know. It just felt good hearing people's feedback, because I don't know them. They don't know me. They barely even knew John, because they're more.
No one really
people.
knew John, other than like us.
So it didn't feel like a fake nice. Like I'm gonna just say these are good. But basically, we gave them all for free. We just told people to follow us on Instagram that we made that day.
Yes, I made John make an Instagram for that day, because John, like, he'll go on these like weird like little rants of like he don't believe in certain things, he don't believe in social media, he doesn't believe in this, and I'm like, John, you gotta make it, at least make it for that night.
I'm a believer now.
So I'm responsible for Cliff Bagels' Instagram.
I don't have it. So you told me that we made it.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend after that, another coffee shop, like we low-key asked, but then they were also like, "Hey, I saw you did an event with Tony." I think that she had already met you by then. Now at Everyday Works.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I saw you did an event with Tony. Come do one here for the Valentine's Day. And so we're like, okay, bet. So we did it, and you pulled up too. I got a picture here. But you pulled up too, and you were just kind of like watching us, and that one also we gave it on for free. We said, hey, just follow us on Instagram, and shout us out on your story, and you get free bagel.
Yeah.
And that's how we did it. Cause I was like, I saw how many people were coming. I was like, low key, we're not gonna sell out, and I don't want to flop. But like, I already had this really high expectation for no reason, and it was unhealthy. But ultimately, I was like, you know what? Let me humble myself. We're giving these out for free.
Yeah.
And so those two events, doing that where we gave them out for free and just said shout us out, that turned into that year 52 events. And of the 52, only 3 we asked to do.
Yeah.
The other ones literally just came spiraling in from all those shout outs we were getting. People were just like hitting us up, then they were hitting us up, then they were hitting us up. And that's when we kind of like, that's when I had to leave my job because we got booked out like 3 months in advance for pop-ups.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, I'm not trying to burn bridges with my job. Like, I don't want to just be calling in all the time or have weird availability. So I just told them like, hey, and they supported me. Shout out Ola. They supported me, and they even put us on for a pop-up there.
Yeah.
And that's, to this day, like, it's our record for the quickest we've ever sold out in a pop-up. 35 minutes. And we took 110 bagels.
I remember that.
And it was gone in like 35 minutes. And so, like, that kind of showed us, obviously, Ola's following is so massive, but, like, those pop-ups really helped give us some traction. And, I mean, what that erupted into and just kind of, like, creating this very real thing. Because at times you get imposter syndrome. I don't know if do you get it? Like,
it's a fake business.
Yeah. And friends around you, like low-key friends around you will be like, are y'all like, they'll ask you questions that just makes you feel like, oh shoot, like they don't think I'm for real about this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's my fault. But
it could be partly
you
your
know
fault.
that's from the Michael Jordan commercial.
Oh yeah.
I made my voice deeper and everything. Maybe it's my fault. But I mean,
the
like,
thing is that sometimes it could be.
We were doing so much work, and I'm just the type of person who's always like trying to laugh and make jokes, but like we were doing so much work behind the scenes, and like people don't know that. People don't know like how much money and time it feels like we lost, but ultimately looking at it, it's what we've invested. To this day now, I think we've done close to like 75 pop-ups. I would say if I had to put a number on it, I would say 75. We made approximately 9,000 plus bagels, countless spreads. I mean, just so much, and like what it's spiraled into. And so then we, I'll let you tell the story about how we almost got a shop. And I won't say where, with who, but just kind of like what that taught us. Do you remember that meeting we had? We sat down.
Oh yeah. So almost a year ago, we almost signed a lease, and it really showed us how mean landlords are. They basically bullied us, first for our age, second for like how young our business was, but secondly, I don't think they saw we already had outgrew 3 kitchens already.
Yeah.
Our following, I guess they didn't see the community that we have built for ourselves. So it was just kind of tough. The landlord was like, yeah, I really need to bring people. I need somebody that's going to rent this space to bring the people here. Yeah. And I was like, I think we can do that. Yeah. Especially what we want to do is basically breakfast and coffee, the daily essential. And he was like, yeah, like we got you.
Mind you, this is a perfect build out. Already got ovens. Already has mixers. It's like we just have to walk in, change the name of the business.
Yeah. And hold on, I'm trying to think.
What time are we?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, but basically, like, while we're having these meetings, like taking all this advice from him and like letting him scare us and like blah 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 blah, he's making it sound like we got the place. Yeah. Like, it's yours.
Look, yeah.
So he did email us, and he was like, actually, I'm gonna go in a different direction.
And where were you when he emailed us?
We're eating breakfast, but dang, it was like heart crushing.
Yeah. She started crying.
Yeah, I started crying in a restaurant.
And I was thinking like, man, this server's like about to spit in my face. It's like,
What did you do to her?
hey, this beautiful young woman.
Well, how was that like? Because I mean, obviously you said that it almost felt like you were gonna get it, and I remember talking to you about.
And low-key, we were telling people that we had it pretty much.
Yeah.
And that was kind of something we learned the hard way. It was like,
And I think that's okay, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
whenever you're whenever you're already almost convinced yourself,
Yeah.
then like when you get news like that, it's like it sucks.
Yeah.
And so like, what was the move after that? Because like y'all are devastated. Obviously, like you're crying, and you thought you had it. So then like, what was the next move of like, okay, like where do we go from here?
I think after that, we were just kind of like, damn, we're just going to go harder.
Yeah.
So I think after that, we started our sandwich pop-ups.
And we did a tour first.
Oh, yeah, we dropped our tour where we did...
Is that where y'all introduced the sandwiches?
No, it was a little bit later. It was in December.
Okay.
We're in 2023 right now. Right now, we're like midway through June. June 2023 is where we're.
So we dropped our tour. We hit all the coffee shops
Like
in
5 different cities.
Yeah, around DFW. We might do another one, but
And we're out, like, some of these shops are out, like, low-key in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we were still selling out.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
yeah.
And then,
so y'all hit the tour.
I low-key, I just want to say, like, this wasn't the best way, the healthiest way to, like, deal with this news. But I just wanted to prove them wrong. Because I was just like, I get it, though. Like, he's a multimillionaire. Mm-hmm. He owns probably upwards of 100 buildings in Dallas. Like, he has prime real estate, like, regarding the equipment and everything. Maybe not the place, but prime real estate, and there's a couple of punk kids trying to put a business in here. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. So I didn't, like, hate him for that, but I just was like, I'm gonna prove him wrong. Like, I'm gonna blow this up. And that's cool for, like, motivation to, like, kickstart, but that does not hold weight. Mm-hmm. Like, that mindset, when you gotta wake up, when you gotta wake up at 3 a.m. like on the regular, like that doesn't help you get up. Like, maybe it does, and maybe you can let hate drive you in that way, but ultimately I had to, like, really give it up to God and just be like, hey, this is, like, unhealthy for me. I don't feel like I should be leading this way in myself, with us, or in the business. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, we really started praying a lot then too. It's just like, okay, this wasn't for us. And I felt like a sucker too, because I was low-key telling a lot of people, like, yeah, we got a shop. It
was embarrassing. Yeah, but thank God we didn't get that shop, because I feel like after that moment, we grew. Not in, like, our community, but just, like, as people.
Yeah.
And we were learning from our mistakes. So whatever he didn't like about us, we clocked and we worked on it. So now we're, like, better.
Yeah.
It's funny is that I've kind of, like, been with y'all, I guess, throughout the journey, because we talk a lot.
Yeah.
We all talk a lot. And I remember, like, you saying that, like, man, like, he says that we don't have this or we don't have that or we're too young. And I remember when you did go on the tour, like, you started posting all this stuff, like all this content of, like, people posting and people online
wearing the shirts,
and John, like, never would do that. Like, I'm telling you, he didn't care for the social media part of it. He just posts, like, and stuff. And so, but then you started, like, showing, like, yo, like, there is a community here, there is something here that people like, that people enjoy.
Yeah. And
it was cool to see, because, like, you did see the growth in both of y'all and in the business, and it was, like, kind of dope to, like, witness that throughout that journey. So then after that, y'all dropped the breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, we started doing the breakfast sandwiches, and from that point on, I stopped calling landlords. The 4 lease signs you see, we stopped calling them. We maybe spoke to one more, and it got a little serious, but we kind of just stayed away from it. And I was like, you know what?
What was the drive behind just staying away from it and just going?
Dude, put the work in.
Just work.
Just work. That's what I was feeling like, and we both felt that. And with the sandwiches was part of it, because initially I was like, I don't want to bring out sandwiches and do all this and it's like extra stuff.
Because we would go, like, I remember one of our pop-ups, it was in Bishop Arts. I was standing outside in the heat for almost 6 hours with, like, not selling out. But I was determined. I stayed out there until every bagel was gone, basically.
I think I went that day, right? I went with Cynthia that day. I think.
Yeah.
I
I
think
left
so,
my
yeah.
coffee there. Remember, I had to come back and get the coffee. It was hot that day,
Yeah,
bro.
and it sucked. Like,
And
And you were
real.
somewhere else too.
I was at
doing
work.
a pop up.
I had
Oh no,
work.
you were
I
at work.
had work.
You
Yeah.
were at work.
Yeah. That was
But
tough.
it's so crazy to like. If I'm gonna sit back and smile about my business, it's gonna be thinking about those times where like some girl standing on the street selling bagels, to me popping up, and then all my friends and the little community that we built around bagels, like showing up.
Yeah.
You know.
And the sandwiches was the next evolution in that because we knew we wanted to do that eventually when we got a shop. And so it's like we had already started strategically doing pop-ups with coffee shops. I mean, that had been started. But I just wanted people to know that when they got our bagel and they got a coffee, they associated the two. Because we aren't doing coffee right now at our pop-ups. But we still mainly only pop up with coffee shops just because we want that to be like driven. Like when I get a bagel, I'm grabbing a latte. And so when we open our shop and when we eventually do that, it's just like a one-stop shop.
It's part of the process.
Yeah, if you want to walk in with Ola or you want to walk in with salty in your hand, like wayward in your hand, cool. That's all good. Like I got bagels for you. But like when we open, I want it to be clear, like, hey, we don't just have ice drip. And we don't just have espresso. Like we have, I would argue, one of the better baristas in Dallas. Like we have someone here who appreciates this and wants to serve you a good drink.
Yeah.
And on my end, like we have someone baking in the back who like is low key like a Carmi in the kitchen. The bear, shout out to the bear.
And y'all both love it though. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a money grab, you know.
No, yeah.
And y'all love it. And
we are not in a net profit right now.
well, and the thing is,
and I'll tell you why real quick is because it was like, if it was about money, I would have increased the price because we could have, like even more. If it was about money, I'd be doing pop-ups twice a week just to get the money. But it was just about connecting with people, and it was just about like popping up, talking with people, slowing it down a little bit. You know, and we have our regulars. We have people who show up to everything. And not only that, but real quick, I want to shout out, like, we have friends who, they had shops, and they put us on, and they gave us pop-ups. And we just have people who just, like, showed so much love, and they didn't have to do that. And no one had to do that for us. And I do appreciate that. Those people I'll always remember. And when we get put on, like, for real, when we have our shop, and we're doing well, I want to be able to go back and bless those people because it's just like they didn't have to do that, and most of them do believe in God too. So it is just this thing where they just saw us and they felt something and they were like, "Okay, I'm connected with this person." So I don't know what that looks like. I might have to slime them out. Yeah, get them some chains.
Big CB, little Cliff Bagels chain. Hey, that's a
video
hard.
Of me putting the chain.
That'd be hard. Hey, Jesse and I will be waiting for ours. Be waiting for our chain. Well, I was just gonna say, I think the when you introduce the sandwiches, that's, you know, the evolution of like. 1 second, we're at 30. So
okay.
When you introduce the sandwiches, that's like the evolution of like, okay, like we're not just popping up with bagels. We're not just serving bagels because we just like the vibes of it. Like we're trying to show y'all also that we're growing into like breakfast sandwiches, and then that'll eventually evolve into coffee, and then that eventually evolves into the shop. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. So like, I think slowly but like surely evolving into like what eventually you want big picture to be is super important. I think like y'all done a good job with that. Well, let's move on to another topic that you want to hit.
Around that time, December, going into January.
Let's move on to another topic that you.
This is the next topic. Okay. January 2024. Halfway through January, I just started, and it's gonna sound silly to some people, but I don't cancel me for this. No, I started getting I started having these visions about what the bagel shop was supposed to be and what our future was supposed to be, and what I represented in my family, and that was big for me because that kept me going. Like God planting that in my heart, it kept me going because it's like, this is hard, and we're waking up early, and like we're burning our hands every other time we bake.
And still working our full-time jobs.
Still working our full-time jobs.
It's true.
Still like popping up, like it's cold outside. We're still thugging it out. Around this time we kind of started to slow down at our pop-ups because we were selling out so quickly. It was hurting us. Like people would stop showing up. So it's like, all right, this is always gonna be out. So that kind of started to affect me too. But one of the visions that I got very, very clearly, and I boldly declared it, and I have like picture it. I have
Make sure you send me all these pictures that you're queuing, because we don't got them.
But it was just this vision of just like, okay, like on my Kobe year, when I turn 24, we're gonna get a shop. Yeah. And I put it on my Instagram story, and I said, hey, if y'all, I don't really connect with a lot of people on my Instagram, but I know you all personally. I only have like 300 followers. I was like, go follow my bagel page. We're gonna get a shop, no doubt about it. I have called 0 landlords this year. Mm-hmm. And on the day of my birthday, I think we had to work, and we got home, and the house was hot, and I was taking a nap. I was just like starfishing it. Yeah. And I was sweating, and I get this call, and I look, and it's like a Houston number. I was like, and then I tried to answer it. It didn't go through. I called back. And it's my friend Irvin at BB at Luna Metaphysical, and I hadn't spoken to him like over a year at this point, and he just goes, "Hey bro, you still doing the bagels? Like, I got first dibs on the shop. Like, pull up, go talk to the landlord. I'll give you your number if you're down." And I'm there like halfway awake. I go to her, she's asleep, and I'm just like, "Going to the shop?" And she's just like, "Huh." It was a weird day. I still barely remember because I was so sleepy and like hot. And she was like, okay. Like, I was like, let's just entertain the conversation. Mm-hmm. And the whole time this is in the back of my head. Like, I'm not thinking about the fact that I turned 24 that day. And it wasn't until like a week later when she reminded me, like, yo, you got that call on your birthday, the day you turned 24. Mm-hmm. And so we tried our best to stay quiet about it. We still kind of told a few people around us. But it wasn't just like outwardly, expressing it and putting it out there. And then it became real. We got the lease. And then we signed, showed up with the deposit and first month's rent. Went down 6, came up 1.5 the next day. So it was just like, it's up and down. And I think like, we got the keys now.
And it's a big step of faith.
We got the keys now. It's a huge step of faith.
Huge step of faith. But it's one that you have to take. It's necessary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor. I just feel like it was a big step of faith, for sure. And
but you're also walking in your prayers.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you get the keys and you walk into that building and y'all were, I'm sure y'all scoped it out and just looked at it, like, what was that like? Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're literally walking in your prayers and your literal blood, sweat, and tears, your burning hands, all that. You're literally like walking into that.
It was the scariest day of my life.
Yeah.
Like throwing up.
Crying, screaming, throwing up.
Literally.
Yeah. And we toured it, and the landlord was like, "What do you guys think?" And I said, "I like it. I'm ready to sign the lease." He's like, "Hang on, bro." He's like, "Talk with her, and then we're gonna get your lease." And then I was like, "Okay." And I texted him like a few hours later, and then I finally. We met up again. He handed me the copy of the lease, and I said, "Where do we sign?" He's like, "No, hang on, bro. Go read the lease."
Like, where do I sign?
My fault. So we came back the next day and we signed the lease.
Yeah.
And then now we have keys, and we have too many keys. This is Haley's keychain.
Yeah.
But this is a key. I'm gonna cover the thing so no one copies it.
There it is, right there. It's the key.
And we're working on it now. And one of the things, so I won't get into too many specifics, but conventional wisdom would say that we weren't ready. And I would almost believe it if someone told me straight to my face, "You're not ready for this." I would almost believe it. But
I think that's okay though, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't always have to be ready. Yeah. But we have to be willing.
Yeah. That's what
and y'all are willing.
The mindset, yeah. Because it's just like the way I was talking about it, people straight up were like, "Are you rich, like low-key or something?" Like, but he's sitting on an inheritance.
John is not rich.
I am broke, bro. Broke. Like,
we do not come from money.
We don't come from money. Yeah. We don't come from generational wealth or like generational like knowledge. Like, I couldn't get into college off of what's the word? Legacy. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even go to college.
I didn't go to college. Nobody in my family went to college.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family has a business.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And that's also like to.
And that's not dissing the family, but it's just like we had to figure this out. Yeah, we had to figure this out.
It's the reality, and it goes to it. It ties into like what we were talking about off camera about what it means for the family, what it means for your community and your people, like to like grow up the way y'all grew up, no college, no generational wealth, like you said, and to be able to step into this accomplishment. You know what I'm saying?
There's a few entrepreneurs that I spoke to along the way, and I remember one of them. He was telling me like, yeah, bro, like don't even expect to get rich off this. Like, like you're not even gonna be rich off this, bro. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, if you don't mind me asking, like, how much money did you make your first year with your business? She's like, not a lot, bro. Like, after taxes, like $60,000. And I was like, oh, bro, that is so much money, bro. I've been poor my whole life.
I wish
bro.
I could make that after taxes and after everything.
After taxes, bro. I've been working since like 18, and I'm 24 now. I've probably made like 60 after taxes. Like, to tell me that I could make that in a year and make that working for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew it. My parents always knew it. Everyone around me always knew it. I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. And I just feel like working for myself was going to be the best way to go about building my own future. I think Haley gave me, and we talk about it a lot too, where it's just like, if we didn't start dating, this bagel thing would have never happened. And I don't know where I'd be. Like, I really don't know what I would be doing. I'd probably just be like, doing something crazy, like
Whippets or something.
Whippets or selling tie-dye Nike socks or something like that.
That's crazy.
I did.
Shout out to all the tie-dye Nike sock sellers.
I wanted to do it. I did one batch, and I was like, this is hard.
It's a lot. It's almost harder than bagels. Like, bro. Yeah.
But, so yeah, we got it, and we're like little by little working on things and putting together our own funds to like, we're still working our full-time job. We're still doing pop-ups. We're wholesaling to customers. Coffee shops.
Yeah.
And one of them, how many did he sell? Like, he said yesterday he sold 19. How many?
Yeah, yesterday they sold 19, and today they sold 15. Like
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. So like, I dropped them off at 8. In 2 hours they sold.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Moving weight, bro.
Yeah. For them, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I want to say.
For sure.
You don't want to say who it is?
Oh, shout out to Moravian.
Yeah. Shout out to Moravian. Clip that. You can clip that. But I think.
But it's crazy because like people like them, like the guys at Moravian, when they hit me up, not too long ago, they were like, "Hey Haley, like we want to wholesale bagels," and I was like, "Okay, but low key only for y'all, because we're in a better kitchen situation that we were in, so we did have the capacity to do that. But when we went to go drop them off, I didn't know he was gonna say, yeah, we stopped selling the regular pastries that we buy.
Whenever we said we want to wholesale, like we want to wholesale.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, they stopped selling everything else. And only sold our stuff.
I don't know why I was so flattered. I was like, dang, for real? Like,
that's
you
crazy.
stopped ordering like croissants for my bagels.
Yeah.
And at first, like, I was like, that's pretty cool. And then that first week, they were moving slow, but so they can get their people to know like who we are and like how good our bagels are. And now it's all like, yeah, we sold out today.
Yeah, we need that.
We need, so we need more tomorrow.
We just dropped them off today. We're making more tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's, it takes a community. Like when you're not rich and you're not relying on these $1 million investments, and that's not a diss to anyone who's doing that, but like we made a decision early on that we're not taking investments.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hurt us in some ways because we're not rich. But this is legacy, bro. Like if I was thinking about the money, the bread, someone offered to buy us a kitchen, build it out for us. He wouldn't charge us rent. He would just split the profits 25%. But I knew that we could get to a point where our rent was less than 25% of what we made. Yeah. And that deal was not going to be worth it in the long, like anything past a couple years. Yeah. And so I was like, no, we're not doing investors. We're not like, if someone wants to like hit us up and contact us and say, hey, I want to help. I want to give y'all some bread. Like, hey, you know what? Give us a term. We'll give it back to you. While we're giving it back to you, come get free bagels, come get free coffee. But like, as far as splitting with it, like this is forever for us. Yeah. So
let's touch on that then. Yeah. While we're on that topic, because I know you wanted to kind of mention that.
Yeah.
Specifically, like with a Kickstarter. So let the people know. Let me know. because we didn't really talk about it much off camera.
Yeah.
So it'd be the first time I'm also hearing about it. So kind of let us know what you're feeling, what y'all are feeling with that.
Yeah. We decided to do a Kickstarter for the bagels. We decided after we got a lease because I understand how like the optics of it of like, hey, these guys don't even have a shop and they're asking for money. You know what I mean? And how that can seem. And a few people were like, Kickstarter's an all or nothing. So if you don't hit your goal, you don't get the money.
Yeah.
Which can be kind of scary. But GoFundMe was like, I just didn't want it to be like, hey, I need you to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want that to seem that way. I didn't want it to be like, hey, we need your money. Like, no. For me, it's more of like, come get something. And like, come support us and come get something for it. And so I think Kickstarter was good for that because there's pledges where it's like, oh, I'm going to pledge $150, but I'm getting 4 dozen bagels with a spread each time and a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That value is $175 almost. And so it's like, you know, you're getting your value for it. And you're pledging, you're helping us speed up the process for build out. But at the same time, it's like you're kind of pre-ordering.
Yeah.
Like you paid for it, but you're getting it back, if that makes sense. And we've like, I still haven't prayed. We've prayed. No, we've prayed. We've prayed on like what the number should be.
Yeah.
Because like that's scary, bro. Like, imagine your goal's 50K and you get raised 40, and then you don't hit the 50.
Yeah.
And you don't get any of it. So,
just goes all back, goes all the way, goes back to everybody.
Everybody loses their money. No, the company keeps
like,
it.
No one gets
the
it.
company keeps it.
This is what y'all understand. Nobody is getting it if we don't hit our goal.
No, they get it back. They get it back. But how do you feel about that? Like, I mean, we haven't, as of right now, we haven't launched it yet. But by the time this drops, it'll be live.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a lot of content for people to like skim through and go through, customer testimonials, stuff like that. And this is a part of that. We're just like planning it all out to drop it all at once, to really surprise everybody. But like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on like the whole aspect of like saying, hey, we're gonna run a Kickstarter, we're gonna.
It's very scary. Just how Kickstarter's already set up, where it's all or nothing. I mean, like we have a number in mind, which would be like life changing, but our bagel shop is happening no matter what.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we already got the keys. I guess what this money is for is to speed up the process of how we open.
Yeah.
Because if it's just us self-funding, it's going to be Cliff Bagels 2026.
Yeah.
Well, like in phases.
In phases.
So we'll get it ready, start baking ASAP for wholesale. The wholesale rolls up. But anyways, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but basically, like, whatever we decide to put our goal at, it's basically just going to be covering the city. Like, the scariest part of, like, opening a kitchen is dealing with the Dallas city.
And the building that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Doesn't have one.
Yeah,
So
it can be.
we gotta vault a ceiling, sand down the concrete, run a gas line, run new electrical. Like,
it can be a lot.
Our equipment,
Permits and all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like.
So the Kickstarter for everyone basically is like literally how it sounds, like just to partner with y'all.
Yeah.
Literally, and like you said, the shop is here regardless.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of like, you know, opening or how it's gonna open, what the layout and everything like that.
I'm about to start having crazy pop-ups, like crazy amount of pop-ups, especially once we announce the shop. We'll do some in front of there, and you'll be doing coffee there.
We'll be.
And I'll be taking a split from that. But we
will be.
Once the Kickstarter's live and once that all happens, it'll just be like, well, it's working. Yeah. It's all going towards building it out.
You can do it.
Yeah, I think we'll meet the goal, but I think most importantly, like if someone, I love it because it's like you don't have to pledge, just come buy a bagel.
Yeah.
Come to the pop-up.
You're kind of pledging in a way also by just coming to buy the bagel.
Just come and buy a pop-up. Like, share it to your story. I know, like, entrepreneurs say that all the time. And I don't hate anybody for not supporting us or, like, not showing up. Not at all. But it's just, like, if you're unsure, come get a bagel. Like, straight up, just let me know. Like, hey, like, I wanted to play this, but I don't really know. Like, I haven't had y'all's bagel. Come grab one. here, bro. Like, take the bagel on me, and try it. And even beyond that, like, with the pledge, it's just like there'll be a few passes, like bagel passes, where it's like free coffee and bagels for a year. There's a limited number of that, but it'll go that far.
Yeah.
Or it's like you pledge that much.
And there will be another video explaining that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a more specific like.
Yeah, we'll drop that in time as well. Probably recorded today. But it's scary. It's scary. The whole thing, getting a business, basically saying, hey, you know what? Like, the way my business runs is going to be is going to be run by us two who have little experience running a business. And what this could turn into is really just, like she said, it's life-changing for us. Not because of the amount of money, but just because of, like, how quickly we can get the shop open. And then from that point, say, hey, like, my best paying job, it doesn't touch what we could be potentially doing for ourselves. And that's not like a money thing, that's a satisfaction thing. That's a fulfillment thing. Like,
Purpose.
It's a purpose thing. Like Costco, I think, was probably my best paying job because of the benefits that I had with it. But it just like I was a piece of a machine, and it didn't sit well with me. Some people need that; they need the benefits, and it's like great. But there's always like this longing for like having like being fulfilled in what I was doing. And so with making bagels, I love it because because I think this kind of started liking me was like with just hosting people.
Yeah.
Making food for people.
Yeah.
Like blessing people, feeding people. And the bagels is a huge part of that because it's like now I can make something that's tangible that people consume and they eat it and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I mean, I can't thank you enough for sticking around. I was homeless, bruh.
John was homeless.
I was bored.
John was homeless, y'all.
John was homeless.
I was homeless. I was jobless.
John was homeless, yeah.
I was like, she's like, you want to go get some McDonald's? I'm like, bro, I ain't got $1. She's like, I got you.
It's $1. Like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Ladies, date that homeless guy. No, but I mean, there was a promise there always, but like, it's just where I was in that time of my life.
And it's just like the where you were in some of your life, and like what y'all have both done.
Yeah.
With each other and through each other to get to where you're at now.
Yeah.
And I think the cool thing about it is that it's gonna sound cheesy, but like it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like literally, because you got the Kickstarter, you got the shop now, and it's like, all right, now we really put it into second gear.
Yeah.
Because really, like it might have felt like you was already in a second or third gear, but really it's like, no, now we moving.
And this is where the work starts, bro. I wish it was over. I mean, I wish I was already making $1 million, but this is where the work starts. Like Jessie knows, she's an entrepreneur. You know, because you work for your uncle.
Who's an entrepreneur?
No, but I mean, I think for like 6 months you were like training. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to do that, but like you were like, oh, let me put in this time. Let me put some. I hate this phrase.
I was putting in time after after hours. Basically.
I hate this phrase, but like let me put some skin in the game. Like
pause.
Exactly. He kept using.
No did he?
No did he? No just. But I can't discount that like at all with the work people put in, and bro, I just want to lay down and take a nap and slow down, but we can't slow down.
You can't.
We can't slow down. This momentum will crush us if we slow down.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like what this means for us and for the rest of our lives. Like, what does it mean to you?
We're creating a community for ourselves. We're creating our careers.
Yeah.
Our family careers, possibly.
Yeah.
Because his sister is like our #1 employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's our one and only, and she probably will be for like the next couple months.
Yeah. And bro, I'll set something down, and if it's dirty, by the time I get back to it, it's clean. Like she's bro. Like I don't pay her enough. I give her
We don't
money.
pay her
I don't.
enough,
No, we do. Yes, we do. I give her money, but it's just like what that means to me is so much more. And like she's helping us. She's a big part of that. And I mean, literally life changing stuff. just to be able to say like, hey, I created this, we've created this, we've cultivated this, and now there's a community of people who supports us and loves us and like shows up and like, you know, they hear our story and they fall in love with us and they all these things and I really think it'll in no time it'll just be me going into the bakery at 3 a.m. and just like just making some bagels, and that'll just be my life until the next thing. But pretty soon here we'll be married, and that'll be our child pretty much, just running a bagel shop. One of the big things too I kind of wanted to touch on real quick was that being generous with what you've been given. If you don't believe in God, like there's plenty of people who don't believe in God and are talk about generosity and like things like that. It's big, like the first 10 of what you make and just like releasing it. Like if you don't believe in God, you think the church is corrupt, find a nonprofit. Like find something you believe in and support that. And I think for us, like my mom's a teacher, and my mom has really come so far from like being a single mother who, I mean, obviously like we had some like a father figure, but like she had me when she was a teenager, like a young teenager. And so now she has her degree and she's doing well and she's like an accomplished teacher. And so it's just like, I mean, dang, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Generosity.
Oh, yeah. Well, because of that, because of that teacher aspect to it, like, teachers are dear to my heart. Teachers have affected me. They've been my mom at school. They've been my dad at school. And so it's like, you know, that we'll have a way that we connect with those teachers and like, hey, how much you need for your semester of school supplies?
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about community, like our community, but this is what we want to do for the community.
Yeah. There's where our shop's gonna go. 2 blocks over, there's an elementary school, and it's not Bishop Arts Elementary, but like a few more blocks then. It has one of the highest turnover rates in all of Dallas. Teachers. It has one of the highest rates of like food insecure students. And then like right 2 blocks over, there's a $1 billion neighborhood, and it's just like, where can we fill that gap? And if it just means like, I'm so serious, like if it just means like 1 or 2 families that we like help support throughout the year, you know, if every business took on a family to be like, hey, let's help you out some way. Let's help feed you. Let's help clothe you. You know, let's amongst food insecure students, the rates of like illiteracy are high.
Yeah.
So it's like, not only they're hungry, we can't read.
Yeah.
So this is like,
bigger issues going on.
Let's go read. Let's go read. And I'm not like suggesting any like one way politically is the answer, but I guess like that's her job as well. And so it's like,
and I'll do it with a smile on my face every day.
Yeah. I might not smile, but
no, that's what I like to do.
But you're happy though.
I'll be in the bakery.
Yeah, you're like, you want me to smile? I'm burning up back here.
Headphones in, but
what'd you say? Oh yeah, what's up, bro?
Yeah. Man, this is so big. It's bigger than us. It's taking legs of its own.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait to see like how this is gonna all play out. And obviously, you guys are gonna be like really attached to that as well. And if you've listened this far and you've made it this far, like thank you for even just listening. You know, shout us out, pull up, get a bagel, like come kick it with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just like, you know, I think it's what you're saying, bigger than just bagels and coffee, right? It's like community serving you, building a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So, not a lot of people, whether we realize it or not, have that.
Yeah.
So to be able to provide that and then provide it like also like a space, you know, eventually with the shop and people coming in and out, like people will feel that. People will feel that. If you know, if people know you, people know 80, like they know that y'all are for real, y'all are genuine. So I think that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, so I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on or if that was it. Any last words? Any last words?
I don't know.
Maybe it's my fault. No, thank you to you guys too. I mean, just even doing this, like helping us out with this and the pop-ups and the first one, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to bring us out. Bagels. Like,
Yeah.
who eats bagels? We're in Texas. We're in Dallas,
Bagels
Texas.
at 7 o'clock
At
at
7
night on
o'clock.
a Saturday.
And someone outside.
On worship night.
And someone outside is doing tacos.
And someone outside is doing tacos. That's crazy. But it worked.
It worked, yeah.
It worked.
It worked. And Jesse's dad ate a bagel sandwich with.
He had like a blueberry bagel,
Blueberry
lox,
bagel.
and some Doritos.
Yeah.
With 2 tacos on the side.
I have that picture screen. I'm gonna frame it. At the
Literally,
bagel
bro.
shop.
Literally.
I'm gonna make that a sandwich and call it the Nogales, bro.
The Nogales. Jesse got his own sandwich.
It's gonna be, yeah. Yeah. Thank you to everybody, though. Seriously.
From first pop up to baking bagels at home, outgrowing 3 other kitchens,
4 now.
4, and we're on our 5th
Yeah.
that we get to build out.
Yeah.
So we're not outgrowing it.
Yeah.
But who knows? Even
But
then,
even then, yeah, the goal is
might-
to outgrow it.
Maybe then, yeah.
Expand. One last shout out. I mean, I wish I could do so many, but there's so many shops that have helped us out. Like, and seriously, go check them out. Like,
Just make it quick.
They're all here, no
Make
clip.
it quick.
They're all here, no clip.
Come on.
Can we cut that?
and
I'm
forward.
just playing.
And forward, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Now
was-
shut him out.
it was
Shut him out.
It was Beatnik,
Everyday works.
Everyday Works,
Mhm.
Ola, Billy Joe Coffee,
Inclusion.
House Rules.
Oh, house rules.
What was the smoke shop that we did a pop up at?
Oh, go easy.
Go Easy. It's not there anymore, but 7 Space 8, they did a few pop-ups with us, and they helped us out. Inclusion Coffee,
Inclusion. Cafe Momento.
Cafe Memento,
Yep.
Moravian, Ari's Pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I feel like there's more. I feel like I'm missing
Slow
more.
and steady.
Slow and Steady. Dang.
I was waiting. I didn't want to say it.
Say the best for last.
The best for last.
Slow and Steady. That's where we work right now. Go check it out. They're great coffee too. They sell our bagels too, so if you want some
Yeah.
bagels. Dang, if there's a few more that I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, Browns by Geeks. She ordered. What's that gym in Design District? The climbing gym.
Yeah.
Also, Iron Jungle, I think it's called. Dang, I hate.
Something like that.
I would hate it if it's not called Iron Jungle, but it's across the street from Oso. And shout out to everybody. Oh, and BJ Athletics.
BJ Athletics.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, every single one of those pop-ups, I was so grateful that someone called on us, and then for them to sit there and be like, "What's the best bagel I've ever had?" I'm just like, no.
And then go deadlift like 375.
Yeah. This is not the best bagel you've ever had, but no, it's like, seriously though, you get that imposter syndrome, and what did I just say today? The only thing that cures my imposter syndrome is when I'm eating one of my bagels.
Yeah.
I'm eating it and I'm just like, hey,
Who made these?
It's kind of
this
good.
is pretty good.
I remember going to New York and having a New York bagel for the first time, and I was like, "Yo, John, this is your bagel's pretty close."
Yeah.
It's
And that's out of like, we're still not using specialty equipment like
Yeah.
bagel shops use.
yeah, and I know that you were like heavily inspired by the New York bagel.
Yeah.
And so when I called you, I'm like, "Hey, yours is really close," and it's. I mean, I said this already before, but your answer was like, "Man, we'd be there if we had the equipment." You
Yeah,
know, but
this
that
is
was
one of those
3
ones.
kitchens ago.
Yeah, that was 3 kitchens ago.
Two kitchens ago.
It's a lot
But-
better now. And we changed the recipe completely too.
But it just
completely,
goes-
we changed the recipe.
No, but it just goes to your growth, to y'all's
Yeah.
growth,
Yeah.
and like constantly trying to
We
make a
were
better
inspired
product.
by the East Coast, but these are bagels the Oak Cliff way
Yeah, the Oak Cliff way
Yeah.
in Texas.
in Texas.
People sometimes, every now and then, with so many New Yorkers, I'm gonna drop a video with just New Yorkers saying that we have good bagels, like New York close bagels. But for every New Yorker who's approached us and been like, well, it's not really that close, or they'll be like, oh, this isn't really in New York. It's like, we're not in New York, bro.
Yeah.
We're in Texas.
We don't have shrimp in our
We're
water.
like, we don't have shrimp. We don't have shrimp in our water. We're like 2,000 miles away from.
Yeah. But it just, but like, it's good.
Yeah.
And people from all over recognize it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, LA has good bagels. New York has good bagels, but
Yeah.
they're different. They're all kind of different in
They're
their own
different.
way. And I think y'all created a unique bagel,
And,
a Texas bagel.
yeah.
Y'all should create a bagel called a Texas bagel. I don't know what
Brisket
that
on
would.
it. Brisket.
With brisket, that's
Some burnt
crazy.
ends in it.
We also
That'd be dope, though.
like, no Diddy, but we also sell ourselves. We're a part of the package. We're a part of the package.
We also sell ourselves just crazy.
We're a part of the package.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, people come and 10 years down the line when we're like, hey, how's your son? Like, he's 10 years old. He's grown up so much.
Yeah.
Like, why would that person want to go to any other shop? You know what I mean? Like, we plan on being a part of that so much and just being that present. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
For sure. Hey, well, bro, this has been dope. This conversation was dope. And I think a lot of people will appreciate it. We'll clip it and we'll really highlight and emphasize things that, y'all spoke on, y'all touched on. And maybe fill in some stuff that people didn't know. You know, people didn't really know about Cliff Bagels. And I think that's what's dope about it. Being able to have a conversation is now that y'all are kind of moving into the shop phase and moving into a little bit more busier phase, this kind of still creates or keeps the personal kind of connection to it. Like, I know them, but like, oh, I didn't know that, that was going on, stuff like that. So I think it's dope.
Some people don't think we're dating. There's a guy who hit on her and like DM'd her on Instagram.
Yeah.
So we're about to get married.
Yeah, y'all are dating. They're dating.
We're together. Don't hit her up.
They're together.
Don't hit me up.
They make bagels together.
He is married. Don't hit him up. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Bro, you already know. All love. Shout out Jesse too. Well, that concludes this conversation.
Yeah.
The work is still to be done. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing.
Yeah.
I think that's the key here. That's the message here.
Yeah.
And y'all are willing. I mean, literally, it sounds corny, but y'all are willing, and I think y'all shown that. And so, man, thank y'all, for doing what you do, doing the bagels, because we know that it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And shout out to everyone who will listen and share. Make sure to support them. Go buy a bagel, post it on your story. It doesn't take much to show that you support them. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.